What is going on, guys? So today's video is about to be very inspirational. It's going to be a really cool interview, guys. Today we're going to be interviewing James Ellsworth, guys. We're going to dive in on how he started pro wrestling and also how he got to WWE and even the future of the future of getting back into WWE. So make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and smash the subscribe button, and let's dive right into this video. So ladies and gentlemen, we got James Ellsworth on the line. James, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. How's your day been so far?
It's been all right. Just checking out some football. Cleveland and Kansas City right now. Big football fan, so that's what I got going on.
What have you been doing during quarantine?
Man, I've been just trying to stay busy. Like my daughters, they do virtual learning from home on the computer
Yeah.
for their school. They're 8 and 5, so I've been helping them with that, which not a fan of it, but they've adjusted to it pretty well. And just wrestling as much as I possibly can. Going to the states that are open to wrestle a little bit. I've been doing that and hanging out with my fiance and selling merch online, doing cameos. That's about it.
That sounds pretty fun. What got you started in the wrestling? What inspired you to start?
Man, I've been watching it my whole life, like since I can remember. I can't not remember watching wrestling. Like I've watched it my whole life, always loved it, always was intrigued by it, always was entertained by it, and I just couldn't wait to do it when I got older. I always wanted to do it as well.
Oh, really? That's cool. What school did you go? What school did you go to?
I went to so I graduated high school when I was 17, and I went to Bone Breakers Wrestling Academy at Baltimore. Started there June 5th, 2002, and then after that I got mentored by Axel Rotten, ECW original. I learned more from him than anybody, but Bone Breakers was a good school back in 2002. Went there for a whole year. I went 4 or 5 days a week. Just, like, as a 17-year-old kid, I was 125 pounds. It was very painful, but
Huh.
it was a good school. They taught respect real well, and I'm glad I went there.
Oh yeah, I was doing a Harley Races Wrestling School. Have you heard of it?
Oh,
WLW. Really?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, I was training there last year, and oh my god, the bumps! Because I'm not like a super big guy with the muscles, so everything for me hurts a lot more because I don't have that cushion. So when I'm taking the back bumps, I'm like, oh, this is painful.
It's not fake. I hate the word fake because
Oh yeah.
nothing that you feel pain from is fake. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
I've always had like a super big respect for every wrestler, even before I started. But once I got in, I was like, Jesus, you see those things with Edge and Spear and Jeff from the belt, and the AJ Styles when he fell off the briefcase that you were at the Money in the Bank. I'm like, those people, like the things they do is like, but like no one really understands the amount of like pain and work that goes into it, especially those big stunts. Like it's not like acting where you get a stunt of like you do your own like it's all on you. It's
Absolutely.
something.
And those guys, Jeff Hardy and AJ, they're the best in the world. So,
But yeah.
I mean, at putting their lives at risk. And yeah, I remember that bump at Money in the Bank you talking about, the AJ big face bump.
Yeah.
And that, that doesn't get talked about enough, I think.
Yeah.
Like how crazy that was.
I was there live and just seeing it was like absolutely crazy. Like I didn't know. Well, I thought they were gonna do like a Edge and Jeff Hardy thing, but then AJ just fell and I was like, oh Jesus, something else.
Don't
What's it
get talked
like?
about enough. That's cool. You're at that Money in the Bank, the greatest Money in the Bank of all time.
Oh yeah, you helped Carmelo win it.
That's right.
What was it like being told when you first got how did you get into WWE, by the way? Like I know it started with Braun Strowman, right? Is that how it started?
Yeah, Vince McMahon just saw something in me from that match, and it was just him and his instinct, and brought me back a few weeks later, gave me a contract, and we were off to the races.
Oh wow. So was it just originally just gonna be a one-off thing, just that you come and wrestle with Braun?
Yes, it was. I was an enhancement talent. Anytime they are near town for anybody, I mean, you talk 200 miles or less. Anybody that's really an unknown wrestler can get booked to be an extra because, an extra, you could be an enhancement talent in the ring. You could be a fake doctor. You could be a fake security guard. You could be
Yeah.
depending what they need that day. Anybody could really do it that has just a little bit of experience. And, I always threw my name in there anytime they came close to town. And, normally nobody gets signed off of doing that. I was one of the
Yeah.
rarities. And that's how it got started.
So for you, since you got to do something like that, what would your advice be for someone who's like at a wrestling school and they get that opportunity like that you got to go be an enhancement? What would you say to do to prove that you should deserve a contract?
Well, it's very hard, man. Like, it's because they're really not paying attention to you. They're paying attention to their superstars and the people that they have money and time invested into.
Yeah.
But I mean, every opportunity, even if it's a slim opportunity, is a opportunity. So
Yeah.
you have to take every opportunity and give your best performance. And that's what I did with Braun Strowman. I never, to this day, had a better performance than I did that day. That was my best performance ever. You know, my best promo, my best selling, facial expressions, all the above. As I gave 110% in that. I put 110% into it, and that's all you can do when you're given those opportunities.
Oh yeah. When you found out that you got to work with AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, what was your reaction when you were first told that, and how did they approach you with that?
Well, when I showed up that day, I was told I was going to be working with the Miz, and they switched it to AJ, and I was nervous because
Yeah.
I think AJ Styles is the absolute best in the world, my humble opinion. And when they told me I was wrestling him, I was so nervous, and I never get like nervous like this kind of nervous. And man, like because I have so much respect for him and for Dean Ambrose, like who was another top 10 best in the world. And yeah, man, it went from like being excited about wrestling the Miz because he's very easy to wrestle, very easy to work with, and so is AJ. But I just hold AJ on the highest regard and level in my head. So I was
Yeah.
extremely nervous.
Did you ever get to work the Miz on any live events? Did that ever get to happen for you?
No, man, and I thought that would have been a fun like match or program. Like the Miz beat me up in my first episode of SmackDown. I was supposed to be
Wait, hold on
team.
one second. Sorry, something's going on.
I can see you. Can you see me?
Okay. All right.
So I was supposed to be teaming with AJ against Cena and Dean Ambrose in my first episode of SmackDown, but the Miz came down and beat me up on the stage, so I never got in the match. And Miz winded up being AJ's partner. So I always thought the Miz and I would have a match, and he even thought it that night. He goes, "Hey man, I bet you they bring you back next week or the week after, and we'll have a
Oh,
match." He even told me that night. I'm like, "Man, I hope." He goes, "Oh man, I can see it happening." And it was supposed to happen, and they just switched it to AJ, which he was world champion at the time, so there's no better spot in wrestling than being in there with the world champion, best in the world wrestler.
oh yeah. So you're the moment, man. I don't. There's nothing better than having one of those craziest pops in WWE, and you have one of the craziest pops when you hit that super kick on AJ for the WWE title. What was that like? Was that adrenaline rush something else? Like, what was that?
Oh, absolutely, man. I hit that kick and got the 2.5 count on them, and you just hear the crowd going nuts, and they chanted "Holy beep" afterwards, and you could
Yeah.
just feel it, man. Like the adrenaline is real. It's very real, and when they're making that loud a noise, and they're like, dude, for me, that's a WWE title match. It's in the main event of SmackDown. The referee's raising the title right before the match, and the crowd's chanting your name, and you're in there with the best wrestler in the world. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, and I'll always cherish that moment and that match and that reaction after the kick. It's definitely the my favorite match ever.
That's awesome. So when you got to be part of the Royal Rumble, when you got to be part of the Royal Rumble, were you super excited to finally like? I don't know if that was that a dream of yours to be in the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite pay per view. You just picture yourself coming out when that clock goes off and your music hitting. And like I didn't know how they were going to react to me because I had just recently turned heel and went with Carmella. Had a
Uh,
great run as a babyface with AJ and Dean, but I turned heel at the a previous pay per view. When I turned on Ambrose so I could face AJ for the title was the story.
mhm.
And they hit my music, and when the clock went, they counted down to 10 seconds, and the people went nuts. And if you go back and watch that, I'm just jumping up and down, going crazy because of the reaction they were giving me. I'll never forget it. 55,000 people, Alamondo, San Antonio, Texas. My favorite reaction I've ever got.
That's awesome. Was it Braun Strowman that eliminated you?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling that elimination to this day. When they do the top 10 most painful eliminations in Royal Rumble history, I'll always be a part of
Oh
that.
yeah, and it's kind of cool to see how also like how much it came full circle. They did with Braun Strowman, and it paid off. You got that moment with Braun Strowman in the Rumble. It's kind of cool to think about that.
Yeah, man, I was hoping we'd meet again in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, or like, yeah, when they were announced that he was gonna have a mystery tag partner at the WrestleMania 35, I was hoping that would, or 34 was it? I was hoping that'd be me.
Yeah.
But
Well,
man, but you always want more. But I had a great run. I appreciate everything they did for me, every cool moment I was involved in, moments that'll be remembered forever. And that's the way I got to look at it.
yeah. Was that the 2018 Royal Rumble, the one with Cena and Styles?
17.
That Royal Rumble was huge.
Well, WrestleMania I was part of. Came out with Carmella, took the Exploder from Becky Lynch in front of 75,000
Oh,
people.
yeah.
But I got announced to come to the ring with James Ellsworth, Carmella, which is cool. You get your name announced at WrestleMania. But I was a part of the Royal Rumble, 55,000 people, where my music hit and I got my entrance and my name announced first. And dude, it doesn't get any better than that for sure.
Oh yeah. Were people in high school and your younger day, did they doubt you and now having to actually make it? What's that like? Like the feeling of that?
Man, so I don't pay attention to any negativity whatsoever because
That's good.
99% of the time people have no idea what they're talking about. They want dirty stories, not clean truths. They want people to not be successful. This is how like most human minds think, and it's crazy because people get jealous quick because they're not succeeding. And yeah, when I was in high school, I'm gonna be a wrestler when I grow up. People would laugh, dude, you're 125 pounds. Like, yeah, right. Like, come on now. And then my teachers would tell me, well, you better have a backup plan because. And it's just weird. Like, I never paid attention to any of it. Honest to God, like, I don't know. It just never occurred to me like that any of these people were speaking anything that I should be paying attention to.
Yeah.
I had tunnel vision, man. I saw the light at
Mhm.
the end of the tunnel. Like just, I don't know, in my heart, I believe, and I'm not being cliche here. I honestly always believed I'd somehow get there. It's weird, I know, right? But I'm just being honest. I'm not cocky or arrogant or egotistical about it. I just always believed somehow, some way I would get there, and I always pictured in my head that I would be there. And anybody that has a dream out there, no matter what it is, that's all you got to do. You don't pay attention to what anybody else thinks or says. You go after it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Do you still talk to Carmela to this day? Are you guys still close friends after your year with her?
Oh yeah, man. If like I text her and ask how she's doing or tell her good job or she texts me right back. Like my daughter's birthday a few months ago. My daughter just turned 8. She loves Carmel, and I'm like, hey, can
Huh.
you send a video for my daughter? And boom, sent me the video right away, and my daughter just loved it. I mean, that's something she has for the rest of her life. And Carmella, I honestly believe, will be a Hall of Famer one day.
Oh yeah.
And I know people watching this might laugh at that, like, yeah, right. Well, she's already the first ever Women's Money in the Bank winner. She's already been women's champion. She's having a great run right now.
Oh,
She knows how to reinvent herself. She's very smart. She knows how to put herself in positions to succeed. I wish, and I'm not saying this because her and I had like the most awesome run together. I wish they would like let her be on her own now because I don't think she needs anybody around her. Like she had Enzo and Kaz, she had me,
yeah.
she had R-Truth. Now she has this new guy who's very athletic. I think I can't wait to see him actually wrestle. But
Yeah.
like, I think she can hold her own now. I mean, she
Oh,
doesn't need me anymore. She doesn't need Enzo and Kaz. She doesn't need this new guy. She really, to me, my humble opinion, should be able to stand on her own now. And she's a good promo. She's gotten so good in the ring.
yeah.
Like,
She.
I don't think she needs anybody. I think she can
Mhm.
do it on her own now. And I hope, maybe after the Sasha Banks feud, they do drift her off on her own because I think that's the next step she needs to take in her career.
Oh yeah. Hey, as long as you got Vince behind you, that's all that matters, and
Vince
that's
likes her.
a
He
big thing.
does. And rightfully so. So.
Yeah. Do you ever plan on hopefully getting a return in the future? Maybe like a surprise appearance in the Rumble, or even go to AEW, or what's your future gonna look like in pro wrestling?
I mean, you never know, man. Like my buddy Gilbert, right? So from 2003 to 2017, that's 14 years.
Yeah.
He didn't appear on WWE at all. Nobody ever forgot him because like there's certain characters you'll never forget, and
Yeah.
Gilbert was one of them. I want to believe that in my heart of hearts that I am a character nobody will ever forget. I mean, you got the Boogeyman, you got Hornswoggle, like just entertaining characters that no matter how long they go without being on television, if they come back, people remember them.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
and I hope I'm one of those characters. And if I had to guess, I mean, it could be 5 weeks from now or 5 years from now. At some point, I would think I will pop up doing something.
Yeah, you did in 2018 or no 2019 at the Money in the Bank with Asuka and
Mhm.
Carmella at the return, which was so crazy. What was that reaction like for you? Because that pop was crazy in
Oh,
Chicago.
it was awesome, man, and and everybody backstage was raving about the reaction. Like, so I was only supposed to do that show and then the next SmackDown, and that be it. And they wound up giving me 2 more months because I think because of that reaction. I don't know for sure, but I mean, they were like very vocal about, hey man, they must have missed you.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think because like for a while there they really took care of the character. Like I didn't wrestle a lot, it meant more when I wrestled because it was only in small doses,
Yeah.
and so it did get boring. And I was doing different things. Like it was just a cool character. I think that character could have, and I wouldn't have think it could have lasted a lot longer. But it is
Mhm.
better in small doses. I'm very aware of that. So it's been 2 years since I've been on there, but if you bring me back, especially if it's a cameo appearance or in small doses or for a 3 or 4 week rivalry or feud or something, like, for instance, if they brought me back and R-Truth and I are fighting for a month over the
Yeah.
24/7 title, I think people would absolutely love that,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then maybe you don't see me again until the following year or 2 years after. I mean, that's fine, man. Like, I am open to listen to anybody about any ideas, but I still haven't lost the mindset of WWE was my dream, and I'll never want to be anywhere else more than WWE. That doesn't mean I won't. Obviously I've appeared for Impact, I've appeared for NWA, I did Ring of Honor on the Jericho cruise, like I did all these other places, and they were all great people, man, to work for. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
I really had a great time working Nick Aldis for the NWA World Title, like which meant a lot to me. But WWE, just for me, I
Mhm.
never lost that mindset. That was where I've always wanted to be, and that'll never change. I think.
Is Impact officially not TNA no more, or is that still TNA?
I think it's
Do you,
been Impact for a while now. Scott D'Amore, by the way, great guy. I worked some house shows for them in a pay-per-view back in 2018, and I really, really like Scott D'Amore.
really?
Just on all, I didn't really know him. You know what I mean? Like, and I
Yeah.
got to be around him for a month or two there, and just an outstanding guy. Like I can tell why he's like well liked in wrestling because he's just a kick-ass guy. So it seems like he's turning that place around.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I wish them nothing but luck. And man, I'd love to go there and do some stuff because man, a lot of my buddies from WWE are there now, and it looks like everybody's having fun there. And that's what this is supposed to be. That's what wrestling's supposed to be for the fans and for the wrestlers. It's fun. I think a lot of people get caught up in a lot of the BS, and there's wrestlers fighting back and forth with each other on Twitter. Like it's just like, come
Yeah.
on, guys, man, let's just have a good time with this, and make some very fun moments for the fans, and that's
Yeah.
all. That's what it's supposed to be about.
I feel like fans always want to make it a rating war, but like I want to see a point where we can get to where the wrestling community can get together and we could see like a WWE versus AEW pay per view or them work together. Like why does everything have to be? Like I don't like the whole like oh you can only like one company, you can't like both. Like the some wrestling
That's
fans.
crazy. It's so crazy. Like the NXT AEW, it's not really a ratings war. Like NXT is a developmental program with people that, talent on the shows that the majority of the audience does not know yet.
Yeah.
AEW has legends on their show: Chris Jericho, Sting, Matt Hardy, John Mox. Like it's always been it's everything's whoever has the biggest stars, that's who you're going to pay attention to. Like any movie, any sitcom, like you'll pay attention to whoever has the biggest stars. That's why WCW back in the day got Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Bret Hart, all these people, because it's always been a star-studded business. So it's not a ratings war to me. Anytime NXT beats them, I'm like, really? Like AEW has all these stars. How could they beat them? Like NXT, even if you're the New York Yankees, more people watch the Tampa Bay Rays than a New York Yankees AAA ball club because the Tampa Bay Rays has known talent on their team. And even though it's the Yankees, it's their AAA club. Nobody really knows these guys yet. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then final question, are you doing indie bookings at all? Like for companies that you don't work for?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I went to Florida a couple weeks ago, did WWN in Tampa. I'm going to a surprise appearance this Saturday. I have a virtual signing the week after, and I got some stuff coming up in February. Yeah, I try to stay busy on the indies, man. Like 2018, between the indies and going back to WWE, I worked over 300 dates in that year. It was cool.
Yeah.
So I like to stay busy. But at the same time, man, in 2020, where I maybe worked, somehow I worked like probably 30 to 40 dates, even though the pandemic. I really found that I love being home with my family, and like I'm really cherishing these moments with my daughters, and so I don't mind being home at all. And my fiance, like we have such a good household, and I really am enjoying. It's made me mature a lot as a person.
Mhm.
And go because I've never spent this much time with them, and like it's really cool. So I'm very grateful to have this time with them for sure.
That's good. That's good. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Yeah, man, you keep kicking ass, keep doing your thing. I don't know how the hell you got all these followers on TikTok. I can't get going with TikTok. Maybe I need to ask you some advice.
I don't even know. Like I started with only and I like that it's blowing up because I know like a lot of people always I've been doing social media for like 12 years, so to finally have it start rolling is like really nice. I don't really know what I did. I made some videos and then it got like 1 million views and then obviously the rest. It just takes that one video, just like for you, it took that one match with Braun Strowman, and the rest is just history, I
You
guess.
just got to keep cracking at it. I haven't done a TikTok in probably 2 months. I'm gonna try to do some more. It's fun. Like social media is so weird. Be like, well, my Instagram, I have 511,000 followers, over 500,000. And then on Twitter, I have like 83,000. Like it's such a weird, like I think I'm on Instagram more is why I don't really pay attention much to Twitter because Twitter's the devil. Like, but yeah, so TikTok and like Twitch, and I'm really looking to all that this year. But yeah, keep doing your thing, man. Keep kicking ass on there.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Have a great day.
Take care, brother.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Now, if you guys did enjoy that video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, guys. Make sure to smash the subscribe button. And guys, there's more interviews. There's a big interview with Chris Van Vliet coming on Tuesday or Wednesday. I did a JTG interview yesterday, and I got so many more. Some with Heath Slater, Todd Grisham, some YouTubers. Check them out. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.